All right. Well, hello. Hi. How you doing?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just ate a nice big old sandwich.
Oh, yeah? What kind?
It was an Italian grinder from Dinger's Deli, the vegan sandwich food cart about half a block away from my apartment that I eat at far too frequently.
That sounds good.
Yeah, they got really good sandwiches, and they're all vegan. They make all their own vegan meats and cheeses. And so they've got like a Cubano, and they've got a grinder, and they've got a meatball, a sandwich, and some bowls and stuff. But I'm not a bowl person, James. I'm a sandwich boy.
I agree. I am not a bowl person. I really hate burrito bowls. They make me uncharacteristically and undeservedly upset.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in a bowl, it's not a burrito, James.
By definition, it's just like a very unhealthy salad.
Yeah,
Maybe a casserole.
It's more of a casserole. I mean, we're from the Midwest originally. We're familiar with the casseroles, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Of all kinds.
But it's more of a pile than anything.
That's true. It is. Yeah, it's just a food pile.
And you know when people used to eat piles, James?
When we lived in the caves.
When we were cave folks, and then somebody invented bread and delicious tortillas, and they're like, "Oh, we can use these to hold our food."
Yep.
And that was of course King Sandwich.
King Sandwich, Lord of the Cavemen.
Yeah, and also Duchess Burrito. They kind of independently, sort of like Newton
In separate parts of the world, yeah.
Yeah, like Newton and Leibniz, sort of independent of one another, invented the calculus. I think that King Sandwich and Duchess Burrito on different sides of the globe kind of arrived at the same conclusion, which is that we're human beings. We have developed agriculture. We've tamed the beasts of the world and harnessed the power of metal and fire. But we're just eating big old piles of food with our hands like nasty garbage animals. What if we hold it instead with some sort of bread? And then that's why civilization exists. And now these people, they're like, oh, no, I'm paleo. I hate civilization. I want to go back to times when we all died of polio at 17, and I want to eat my food in nasty piles like my ancestors did.
Also, I only eat grass and pine cones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a food cart right around the corner from my apartment, not too far from Dinger's, and it's called Nasty Dirty Cave People, and all they serve is grass and pine cones in a bowl, and I hate it. But there's always a line around the block. People throw money at them, and they scream, and they foam at the mouth, and they say, "Give me more pine cone."
Every time you walk out of your apartment, you got to shove these people out of the way because they're just lined up like zombies, just, need grass.
Yeah, and having conversations with each other like, I hope they're not out of the big pine cone today. Last time they had sold out of the big pine cone by the time I got there. I had to eat several small pine cones instead.
Oh, I hope they have the fir pine cone instead of the evergreen pine cone this week.
Meanwhile, oh yeah, my butthole is also in ribbons. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
James, would you like to record a podcast?
I would.
Okay, cool. No doubt.
Is a good band.
Yeah, they were. R.I.P. Preston punk, but in front of the punk in parentheses there's a ska.
Hello!
This is the world's first and foremost film repair podcast. I'm your powerful cinema mind, Philip Stressman.
And I'm your executive film form, James Kettler.
Welcome, James. Welcome to my powerful cinema dimension.
I hate it.
So many films and ideas flow from my cinema mind. I can hardly to contain them all.
Yes, so many films flow from me, George Lucas's mind. I've directed a whole 5 of them, and 4 of them were a Star War.
Yeah, 0 of them were good. Hey, James, would you like to? I know that we've watched a feature-length film, and we're going to repair that with all of our many hammers. But maybe first, even the most powerful cinema mind needs a little bit of a kickstart every once in a while. He needs a little bit of a morning Sudoku in order to get those neurons firing properly.
I was going to say crossword, but Sudoku's also good.
Yeah, so let's use the letters of our Sudoku to spell out movie trailer and warm up on some of those.
Okay.
Do you have any trailers in mind?
I'm just over here on Apple Trailers, and the first one is a movie that stars Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren.
Ooh, that doesn't sound bad at all.
There's also one starring Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal called China Salesman.
What on earth? Hello, I'm Mike Tyson. I'm here to sell China to you. I've got such a selection of dishes and plates for you to enjoy.
I was going to say, do you think he means plates or do you think he means like the country? Like Mike Tyson is the world's worst con man. And he's like, how that old joke about like, you're so gullible, someone could sell you a deed to the Brooklyn Bridge, but it's China. He's trying to sell people China.
The nation of China. Can I actually, maybe we'll do one of those next, but I do want to start off with a trailer that is going to maybe break your heart if you haven't seen it already.
Okay.
Literally the next one after China Salesman. It's a little film called Bohemian Rhapsody.
I hadn't watched it yet. Do we have to?
Yep, sure do.
Okay.
And I've hit play. And here we go. Okie dokie. Hey, we're gonna rock you with some powerful movie ideas, like the band Queen from the trailer we just watched, which I don't know if we said it, but it was the Bohemian Rhapsody. James, is it safe to say you're a fan of the band Queen and the man Frederick Mercury?
Yeah, very much, Phil.
How did that trailer make you feel, James?
Fine.
I mean, it looks like the most
generic, basic movie
absolutely.
biopic of all time.
Just like every fucking shitty generic.
Every movie that like Walk Hard parodied fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah, as we all know, there's only ever been two good music biopic films, and it was Walk Hard and it was Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Yes.
And the reason for that is that those are fake, and the whole genre is inherently bad and shitty. Maybe The Decline of Western Civilization to the Metal Years is also a wonderful movie. Now, but James, so we're not comfortable here resting on our laurels, allowing big band movie biopics to continue to be bad. That's not how we do here in the film repair department. We don't see a film and say
we don't accept failure as an option.
No, we're not here to how movies sometimes they play at the festival of Cannes. Well, that's what we're here to say is like we're here to say I can fix it.
Oh, that was rough. Yeah, we are. We sure are.
Let me try it, everyone. Hey, you know how when a movie's finished, they'll be like, "Oh, that one's in the can."
This isn't better.
You know what they don't say?
This movie's in the can't.
Correct. This movie's in the cannot. And neither will us. So what's a band with a really good story we could make an excellent movie about, and not Gwar, because we did that last week?
I was gonna say Gwar, but we need a band that like didn't struggle to find fame and then they found it and then they struggled with drug addiction, but they overcame it and then they were a legend.
What about Weird Albert Yankovic?
He did just have a biography come out like 3 years ago.
Oh, did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, someone did.
No,
that.
not a film, not a biography film, Phil, a book.
Oh, so we could adapt his book.
Yeah.
The strange Albert story. That's weird now.
Yes. Now, we could also just film the story that Weird Al lays out in his life in the song Albuquerque, where he wins a radio contest and moves to the most magical place on earth, Albuquerque. Or we could also plot out the film of Weird Al's life that he lays out in the theme song for the Weird Al show, where he works in a tater tot factory and lives in a sewer and has a magical hamster pet named Harvey.
Yeah. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that Super Deluxe or one of those websites did a whole big fake Weird Al biopic thing a couple of years ago.
Okay, good. So we'll throw that idea out the window because it's been done.
Yeah, that one's been done. Well, here's another one. You know, a famous musical artist who everyone knows and recognizes their hit as soon as they hear it, but I don't feel like anyone really knows anything about. Like, we've never actually gotten a peek behind that curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Is, of course, the dogs who bark jingle bells.
Okay, so just a bunch of dogs in the recording studio, and then their barks get auto-tuned to jingle bells. So what's their story? Where'd they come from? They lived on the streets. They were street dogs.
Yeah, they were street dogs, and the only way they could get begging strips was by singing the beautiful a cappella tunes for passersby.
Oh, and they were actually like really, really good and had complex arrangements, but once they got their record deal, like, they had to sell out and just record some bullshit Jingle Bells stuff. But you know what? It got them off the streets.
All anybody wanted was Jingle Bells. They're like, no, we've done a lot of experimentation with polyrhythms, and we're doing things with harmonies that no one has even heard of before since the Beatles. Everyone's like,
because you can't hear them because you're humans and we're dogs, and they're at a higher frequency than you can hear.
Too high for you to hear. And the record producer's just like, no, bad. Sit.
And he puts the cone on them.
Here's some cocaine. And I think this movie would be called something along the lines of like, it's a rough Christmas.
It's
raise the roof.
Barking up the wrong Christmas tree.
Yeah, barking up the wrong Christmas tree. I did say raise the roof though, which was funny. Did you hear that?
That is very funny.
It's what dogs say.
Roof.
Roof. Okay.
Yeah. I see a movie here on page 2 called Adventures in Public School.
Oh, that sounds like a fun one. It's going to close. Squid the old Chrome.
We went to puppet school.
We did go to public school. We went to the same public school.
Mm-hmm.
And what did we learn there?
Math, I think.
Yeah, just math. Not even
that
good.
was Emily's school.
Oh, yeah. She did go to the math and science school and was voted in her yearbook least likely to attend a class.
Was she really?
Yes, she was. Man, the computer does not like to load the websites.
Judy Greer, you're better than whatever this is. Cool. Hey, Phil, I forgot everything about that movie trailer we just watched.
Yeah, like the second it stopped playing.
Yes.
It was about as Judy Greer is a mom and she doesn't want her kid to go to public school, and then he does in order to participate in youthful rebellion and heteronormativity. And
she helps him party and smokes pot with him because she's a cool mom.
Yeah, she's one of those cool ones.
This movie looks like it should have come out in like 2008.
Yeah, it was, I believe one of the pull quotes for the movie itself was that it was excruciatingly cute.
Yes, which I don't know was a good thing. I think if you looked at that review, that might have been a bad thing.
Yeah, that movie looked so fucking boring and milquetoast and obnoxious. Now, how do we spice it up? We've done high school movies before with somebody turn their dick into a monster or something. I don't really remember.
Oh, yeah, the phone one.
Yeah.
The one about the magic phone app. Yeah. What? You started a sentence. I was expecting you to finish it.
I asked a question. I said, how do we spice it up?
Oh.
I don't have any ideas for this boring as shit movie, except maybe I don't know. He was homeschooled because he's a carrier for a terrible zombie virus.
He's
he can't
he's
go
a
to public
Bigfoot.
school.
He's a Bigfoot.
He's like a cryptid.
He's a Bigfoot. So he was forest schooled, but Bigfoots have just been legally declared human, so now he has to go to public school.
Oh, okay. So he's the first Bigfoot to be integrated into the human public school system.
Yes, and he is like a fully grown adult Bigfoot man.
Is he hot?
No, he's
Is
like
he
a
hot?
Bigfoot dad. He's like a Bigfoot dad, not a Bigfoot daddy, like a Bigfoot dad.
Why is he going to high school?
Because now that he's human, he has to hold down a job, and to hold down a job, he needs his GED.
Well, then he would just go to like an ongoing like adult education. He wouldn't go to high school.
Nope, he has to go to high school in this one.
So it's sort of like a Bigfoot version of
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Furry
Yeah, so
Madison.
he does have to do all 12 grades.
Biggie Footison. It's Biggie Footison, and he's got to do all 12 grades so that he can inherit his family's Bigfoot fortune. With all the money that they made selling pine cones to hippie idiots to eat.
All the money they made selling pictures of themselves to like various cryptid websites on the internet.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And
I got
hair
a side
samples.
gig. Hey, dog, you want a footprint? Boom, there you go.
Boom, got it.
$4,000, please. I'm a Bigfoot. I don't know about money or numbers.
4,000, yes, good. Here you go.
Good. Will you accept that in the form of 7 pennies? Absolutely. I'm gonna go eat rocks. I haven't been to school. I'm a stupid Bigfoot. Yeah, Biggie Footison, definitely. I'm done with this. This has been a bad day for trailers.
Yeah, let's talk about Star Trek.
Yeah. Hey guys, we fixed a Star Trek movie. How's that in your ears?
We watched a Star Trek movie. I don't know if we're going to fix it, Phil. I'm going to be honest. I don't have a ton of ideas because I was pretty invested in this movie and thought it was pretty good.
James, this movie's really fucking bad.
I thought it was okay.
Crazy? I remember really
thought it
liking
was
this
all
movie
right.
when I was younger. For the record, we this week we are repairing the classic Star Trek meet 'em up /fic Star Trek Generations. Yeah, this movie's fucking pointless, dude. It's like there's a whole B plot about Data won't have emotions, but sometimes emotions are bad. And then
And
A
it goes
plot
away
is,
completely for the second act.
yeah, and the A plot is literally like Picard goes to like a 40 square feet of desert to try and punch Malcolm McDowell before he climbs a ladder. He can't do it good, so he has to go get Captain Kirk to come help him punch Malcolm McDowell before he climbs a ladder. Why do we want to stop Malcolm McDowell climbing a ladder? Somebody told us he'd kill some people. We didn't see him.
There's a
The
planet
end.
full of 230 million people, Phil.
Yeah, none of whom we saw once. Some fucking Star Wars shit.
Yeah.
Here's a huge number of unseen folks. Well, I don't care.
Hey, check it out, Lady Klingons. But guess what? They leave a little window in their armor for their Klingon boobs.
Well, they're from the show. I like them. Now, I'm a big old Star Trek fan. James, you're a Star Trek fan.
I am a Star Trek fan.
So I feel like this repair is going to come from a place of love and respect for the genre and respect for the franchise. So it's not that we're like, oh, Star Trek movies are stupid. We need to fix them and make them something different, that they're not. It's this one Star Trek movie is bad, and we want to turn it into one of the good ones. We want to take it into darkness and turn it into a Wrath of Khan. You know, we want to take an insurrection and turn it into a Wrath of Rection, etc.
That sounds like a porno.
We want to take a Search for Spock and turn it into a Journey Home.
Voyage Home.
What?
Voyage Home.
Is it Voyage Home, the fourth one? With the whales?
I think so.
Voyager is a show.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
the Voyage Home.
Interesting. Oh man, I just looked it up, and here is Spock wearing a karate headband. Well, do you want to play a little game we like to call "Give 'em Your Worst First"?
Yeah, can I hear the theme music again?
When you got an idea and one of them's bad. Say that one first of all, and you'll have some fun. Give me the worst first.
I really thought you were going to nail it exactly the same as you did last time. You fumbled a little at the end, but still good.
I'm pretty sure it was the same.
It wasn't because it rhymed last time, but...
What's your worst idea, James? I know what mine is.
Alan Ruck is in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, he is.
So I was originally going to pitch Captain Kirk's Day Off, but I think a more fitting character for that role is, of course, William Riker's Day Off.
Yeah, that's similar to an idea I have written down here, which is Ferris Bueller's Blast Off.
Ferris Bueller, a starship captain?
Yeah, but he doesn't take it serious. And Jennifer Grey, she's real mad.
Yeah, because she's always got to take the bridge when Ferris is out slacking off.
Oh, he called in sick from his captain's quarters again. We set up a bunch of Rube Goldbergian future devices to prevent us from entering his room.
Oh, he hooked up a camera from the holodeck to project himself into his bed.
Actually, it's Moriarty style. He's just allowed a holodeck version of himself to run free in the cabin and do his job so he can screw off.
He's down there on that planet singing alien songs at their parade.
He's on Romulus pretending to be the Romulan sausage gang of Romulus.
That was a good one.
Thanks. No, yeah, it could definitely just be Riker, though. Riker's just goofing it.
Yeah. Yeah, goof off day.
And then, so I think Picard would play Jennifer Grey's role. Or maybe Picard is like the mom who's like, Riker's real sick, guys. Don't bother him. Oh, sweetie.
What? Number one wouldn't abandon his post for no reason.
I stuck a thermometer in his beard and it was real hot.
And then Beverly Crusher's like, yeah, it is.
He's got the Bajoran measles, I think. But Worf's onto his tricks. And Worf has to do all of Riker's jobs. And he's like, fuck this bullshit.
So Worf isn't Jennifer Grey. Maybe Worf is more like the principal.
Yeah, okay. No, I think Worf is Jennifer Grey. I think the principal has to be some sort of big admiral.
Oh, okay. Trying to catch Riker.
Yeah.
And Wesley Crusher is Cameron.
Oh, so Riker drags Wesley Crusher along with him on all of his hijinks.
Yeah. Wesley, come on.
Is what he'd say.
Wesley, you little candy ass, we're skipping work. Let's go. But Commander Riker, shut up.
And
Get in the transporter.
Does Diana Troy like the Mia Sara?
Yeah. Or maybe it's just Beverly Crusher and Riker is just making out with Beverly Crusher in front of Wesley.
Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, William Riker's Blast Off. That's a good idea. Can I give you an example of a bad idea just for frame of reference?
Yeah, sure.
So the plot of this movie is that Malcolm McDowell wants to get back to a big sky ribbon called the Nexus where he can presumably live the first day that he got there confusedly for all of eternity and chop wood.
Yes.
He's real horny to chop wood.
Yeah, he really just wants to chop that wood, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, just cut logs with an axe. So I had an idea here is what if it was the Nexus 6?
The phone?
Yeah, the phone from Google.
He just really wanted to get a phone.
Yeah, and we're on the desert planet with Picard and Malcolm McDowell. He's like, going to get to it. And then you look up in the sky and it's just, it's up there.
Just dangling on a string.
Just
someone with a fishing rod just like, yeah, just off screen.
Been trying to find it for 80 years. I can't reach it.
And Picard's like, here, let me give you a boost.
Up on my shoulders.
Oh, good. Now I don't have to kill 230 million people to get a phone.
Oh, well, it's got all my apps. I gotta get
all my pictures ported over from the cloud. Yay.
I want to watch Netflix on the go on the quad HD display.
Yeah, that is a very bad idea. Okay, I see your point.
I'm going to flip phone right now. It's rubbish. Can't even look at my ebooks.
Well, I can, but it's only like 120 characters at a time.
It's horseshit. Can't even read a whole tweet. I got another idea here. So the beginning of this movie is the USS Enterprise is going again, and Cameron is there, and they invite Captain Kirk to come like say hello with his friends, and there's a bunch of movie cameras and like news people there covering it.
Yep.
So I have an idea, like, what about what I wrote down here is Spockumentary, but like a
yeah,
but like an office style like outer space adventure, like a cinema verite, but in outer space.
Okay. So maybe the whole video is like first person's perspective from Data or like another android on the ship, because they memories is just like a video.
Yeah, or it's a guy. Did you see that one guy who's like wearing a video camera like it was a hat?
Yes.
And it's like the height of future technology as we imagined it in the early 90s.
Yeah, you'll just put the cameras on your head from now on.
It'll be the same size, but you'll wear it. I like that better. And that gets rid of like let's say it's a horror thing, and the question in like a found footage horror movie is like, why didn't you put down the camera and just run? Why are you still holding the camera and filming this? And
the answer is because it's strapped to his head.
It's strapped to me. I couldn't take it off if I wanted to. I desperately want to.
Actually, when I accepted this job, they surgically implanted this camera into my skull. It can never leave.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to remove it.
Yeah, when I have to recharge the battery, I just have to stand next to the outlet for several hours. It sucks.
Rest my head against the outlet. I don't have a very long cord. They put a fucking 6-inch USB cord on this thing.
The B plot is all about like his wife is planning him a surprise birthday party, and he might be late because he gets taken out on this wacky space adventure, and he gets back and she gives him the present, and it's an extension cord, so he doesn't have to stand so close to the outlet anymore. And
he cries. He's so happy. What else you got, James?
So the Han Solo movie comes out next weekend, I think, or like 2 weekends from now. Comes out sometime this month.
The Lord Almighty, I'm so excited to see what my good friend Han Solo, how'd he get started? I love it when Hollywood tells me what my favorite characters used to do before they did the stuff that I liked when they were younger and not interesting.
Yeah. Or when they're younger and yeah. Anyway, Worf, a Star Trek story is my pitch.
Okay. So it's Worf of Starfleet.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like his time at Starfleet Academy, and like, he doesn't fit in because he's a Klingon, and Riker's there, and he's the cool, handsome jock bully that always picks on Worf, but then they become friends at the end. And there's like this really cute, gaseous cloud who's at Starfleet that Worf really wants to ask to Starfleet prom, but the gaseous cloud can't speak, so he doesn't know if it said yes or no.
Sounds anticlimactic. Can I tweak that idea slightly because I hate it?
Okay.
So 2 things are true. One thing is that, as I just said, younger versions of existing characters suck and is not interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing that is true is that Worf as a character got better with age. The older Worf got, better Worf got. Once your Worf was on Deep Space Nine, he was even better. And then like by the end of Deep Space Nine, like season 6, he fucking ruled.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go past that. I want to do like an old
Admiral
man Logan
Worf.
with Worf. No, I think by this time he's left Starfleet and he's sort of like a space Ronin.
Ooh, okay.
Scouring the galaxy, setting wrongs right. Maybe Dax is with him still too.
Okay. And Data's head.
And yes, fuck yes, and Data's head. No. Lur's head.
Whose head?
Lur? Isn't that Data's brother?
I thought his name was just like L. Lore is his brother.
Yeah, Lur's head.
Lur is the big alien from Futurama.
Oh yeah. Ignignon and Lure. That's right. Yeah, no, I think Data's dead. They've got Lore's head because I like the idea that Lore's got a real sass mouth and he's like Loki style, always wants him to do something fucked up, but he can't act on it because he is just an android head.
Yeah, he is just a head that Worf carries around on his back.
Shut your mouth, Lore.
Lore. Cease communication.
That's a really good Michael Dorn.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Lore is sort of like that demon hand or demon mouth in the hand from Vampire Hunter D.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, old man Worf.
Okay, I have an idea similar to that because my favorite part of this movie was watching 50-year-old Malcolm McDowell and 52-year-old Patrick Stewart and 63-year-old William Shatner tumbling around in that rocky area,
just having a nice desert tussle.
Mm-hmm.
For literally, and I cannot reiterate this enough, for no stakes. In the middle of nowhere with nothing interesting to look at, for no stakes.
Everyone on the Enterprise would get disintegrated, Phil.
There's a difference between felt stakes, right? Like stakes in a movie can be like, I need to save my goldfish, if you feel it. But you just say 230 million people, like, I don't feel that at all. I don't care. It's just like, this old man's trying to climb a ladder. This old man's trying to stop him. That was this whole back half of this movie.
Yeah. Anyway, old man James Bond movie starring Patrick Stewart.
Ooh, okay.
Because I do like the idea of more just old British men like trying real hard to tussle and they're just a little too old for it. So there's lots of shots of them just, like standing on other sides of the under section of the bridge, just going like, because that's as much energy as they can muster.
Yeah, so it's like a Roger Moore movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
That kind of was like the Roger Moore James Bond movies, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, let's just make more of them.
The man is dead,
but with Patrick Stewart as Roger Moore James Bond.
Can we put a wig on him?
Yes.
All right.
Like they wanted to do for Star Trek? Yes.
I'm in like Flynn. Wait, did they want to put a wig on Patrick Stewart for Star Trek?
You've never seen that picture of Patrick Stewart with his hairpiece?
No.
Hold on, I'll send it to you in the Skype chat.
Why would they do this?
Gene Roddenberry didn't think a starship captain should be bald.
I mean, that's fair. While you look for that...
Oh my God, his face in this picture is so good.
Yeah, send it at me. Just text it to me because I'm not going to be able to load any website while this shit's all going on my computer.
Okay, let's keep talking while I do that.
Yeah, while you send me that bewigged Stewart. So I got an idea here. At the beginning of this movie, they were promoting Worf by pranking him Ashton Kutcher style on a big old boat, and they wore big old, like, old-timey Navy costumes.
The classic plank prank. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was always under the impression that if you had on, like, a costume in the holodeck, that was a part of the holodeck.
No, apparently not. You got to put on the costume.
They put on the... So did Worf have hair extensions in for that ponytail?
Maybe, but also, like, I mean, because James, the other option there would be that, like, as soon as the hologram ends, you're fully nude because your clothes were holodecked onto you.
No, because you just holodeck the clothes over whatever clothes you wearing. All them Starfleet uniforms are, like, real tight. I don't think they'd have trouble hiding those.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Anyway, that made me think of, like, so all of the Star Treks and their ilk, it seems like there's two versions of the future. There's either like the Star Trek version where it's sort of utopian and mankind has moved past want or money and we're just nobly scouring the galaxy for new life and civilizations, et cetera, and so forth.
Yeah.
Or it's like a totally dystopian kind of a situation. Like Asimov's Foundation kind of a thing.
Right.
Where everything's fucked and it's like the Wild West of the outer space. Like Firefly, that kind of thing. But, my God. It's so bad.
His face in that picture.
He knew. He was like,
this is the stupidest thing I've ever worn.
I mean, he's been bald for 100 years. Why would you cast him? Jeez, it makes him look way older.
It does.
Anyway, so my idea was like, what if the future is just the more likely option? Which is that it's just kind of like now.
It's just kind of regular.
Well, so it's just a colonialist space future, kind of like when they were old time Navy captains, like colonialist England. So now they're just like, the sun will never set on the Federation Empire, and they're just going out and fucking taking shit over and murdering indigenous people and enslaving them and.
So they're just the bad guys they're just the bad guys in Firefly then.
Yeah, in Firefly though they were sort of like genocidal.
Well, right? You're talking about murdering indigenous folks.
Yeah, but not in a genocidal way, just more like in a British, I guess, I don't know, not in like a kill the whole planet way, but like take over the planet and impose our culture on them and steal their resources kind of a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also wrote down like actual 1770s aesthetic Star Trek, like the beginning of this movie.
Oh yeah,
like that Marvel, that series Marvel did for a while, where it was like all their heroes, but in like the 1600s.
Yeah, 1604.
Yeah, like that, but Star Trek.
But it takes place in the 70s.
Well, I said the 1770s, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. I heard 70s, and I thought you were talking about the uniforms they were wearing on the Enterprise in the first scene of the movie when it was Kirk times.
Oh, no.
They're like a Studio 54-ass Star Trek. No, so like a 1770s. And do they fly around in big wooden spaceships?
Yes, they do.
Big old
look
sails?
Yeah, solar sails.
And they fire cannons at each other?
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of just Starjammers at that point. I know I've suggested Starjammers on this show before, but we could just do Starjammers.
I don't think I've ever seen Starjammers.
Well, Starjammers isn't a scene. It's a Dungeons and Dragons setting, but it's like fantasy outer space stuff. So you fly around in space in between the different planes, big old nasty ships with space sails but you're also still wizards and barbarians and dwarfs and halflings.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It'd be pretty sick.
And that still provides like the Star Trek aesthetic where it's not just folks running around, it's alien folks also.
Yeah, but they're not so much aliens as they are elves.
Right.
Well, I mean, let's break it down. Vulcans is just elves.
Yep. Klingons is just orcs.
Klingons are definitely 100% orcs. Worf is sort of a half-orc, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Ferengis are just gerblins.
Yep.
Etc.
Data's just still a robot, but there can be robots there.
He's an automaton.
Oh yeah, he's like clockwork robot.
Yeah, he's a clockwork automaton. Fuck yeah, this idea rules, actually. Let's just take all of Star Trek and just just mod it. Put a D&D mod on it.
Yeah.
So it's a Starjammer setting. But it's still Star Trek characters.
Yes.
But, okay, so let's do this. Captain Picard out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Still a human, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it probably Paladin.
Yeah, Paladin, cleric, somewhere along there.
He's definitely neutral good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say lawful good because I feel like he does when the chips are down.
He'll bend the rules.
Yeah. Now, Riker, chaotic good for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A bit roguish. Rakish, also a bit roguish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Worf, also, I'm going to say lawful good because he's very about following the rules and duty and honor.
Yeah. Yep.
Diana Troy, cleric. Or no, she's more of a druid.
Yes. Yeah, because she's psychic, right?
Mm-hmm. And she's half, what species is she half?
Are you talking about in real life or in our mod?
Not neither. In the world of Star Trek.
She is half Betazoid.
Yeah, so what's a Betazoid, do you think? Maybe it's a Dragonborn.
Ooh.
She's a dragon.
So she's mostly human, but she's a little scaly.
A little scaly. And she's got empathic druid powers.
And breathes fire.
She does breathe fire. Now, Beverly Crusher being a healer, she is, of course, the cleric.
Yep.
Wesley's a bard.
Yep, for sure.
Um,
Constantly singing in his prepubescent voice, and Riker and Orc Worf both tell him to shut up. Orc Worf breaks his lute.
We scale the skies flat. We sail the skies so black. Our ships are made of stardust, and our hearts are full of courage.
Wesley, I'm going to smash your lute.
I think Worf actually loves it and thinks it's very beautiful, and tries to convince everyone else that they should castrate Wesley before his voice changes with puberty.
I can't sleep without his beautiful melodies. Captain, we must cut off his balls.
Cut off the boy's testicles, Captain. I will keep them in a jar.
I must be rested for battle, and I need his sweet, sweet tunes.
I need his beautiful, angelic singing for buffs. What else you got, James?
Yeah, I would like a movie that's just only about Data learning how to do emotions, because all that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, it's got a deep misunderstanding of emotions and how emotions work.
Yep.
And what they are. And also is a pretty cavalier attitude towards like depression and dealing with mental illness, and that Riker basically just tells him, or Picard basically just tells him to like suck it up and do your job.
Yeah.
Emotions aren't real, and being human means suppressing them.
Also, did the movie ever... I'm sorry, this is getting into just kind of criticism, but did the movie ever address the fact that Picard's son died? Did he ever get any kind of catharsis for that whatsoever?
His brother died.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, he solved it because he learned that time is not your enemy.
Mm.
He learned an important lesson about time and how it's good, actually. Yeah, this movie was really poorly written, James. They did a bad job writing this one.
I feel like the first half was really good. I feel like once it got to the rock planet and Kirk showed up, it ground to a halt.
Here's the thing, dude. If a first half of your movie is good, your movie is bad. Anyone can write the first half of a movie. The last half is where everything gets resolved and things come together and make sense. Literally anyone can write the first half of literally any movie. That's not, you haven't done a movie at that point. The first half does not matter.
50%'s a failing grade.
Yeah. So I got an idea here. I don't remember why I thinked of it, but like Space Monster of the Week is what I've written down here. And it's like a Buffy style Monster of the Week or a Supernatural style Monster of the Week show, but it takes place in the future on an outer space ship.
Okay. So they're just constantly like, 1 week it's a xenomorph, and then the next week it's the Predator, and they're just constantly getting attacked by different alien monsters.
Wrong, incorrect. There's no aliens. It's just human beings and vampires and ghosts and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is it always the same crew?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's the same crew flying around.
Or maybe
solving...
it's like, or maybe it's more like a Supernatural. So it's like a couple of guys, but they're like couple of folks. Excuse me. But they're just like Starfleet freelancers who just go around to different starships and help those crews out with some stuff that's happening.
Yeah,
so
they're
they
like
go to one.
X-Files. If Starfleet's the FBI, they're like the X-Files.
Yeah. They just drive around, and 1 week it's like, oh, the engineers have been hearing some strange, spooky noises around the quantum entanglement generator.
Oh, we've seen this before. It's definitely poltergeists. the colony X123b around the tidally locked moon hasn't reported back in weeks. Oh fuck, I know this one. It's vampires.
Oh, you drove right through the debris of a planet that was exploded by the Borg, and now they're
no Borg. Those are aliens.
No, the Borg's not the bad guy, Phil. Let me finish.
But there aren't any Borg. There's no aliens. Cannot stress that enough.
Not even like tertiarily. They're just not present.
Aliens do not exist. Human beings. Here's the thing.
Space is empty. Space is empty except for human beings and the monsters they become.
Right. So the world that we're starting with, it's 2018. It's a supernatural world where ghosts and vampires and cryptids and poltergeists and demons and angels and all that stuff, those all exist. Aliens do not. Or if they have, we have not made contact with them. Except now it's 200 years in the future. We've colonized space, but we've taken all of that stuff up with us. They followed us up there. Like lice on the back of a lice on the back of a chimp who's in space.
Yeah, like fleas on a dog.
You're like fleas on a dog who got sent into space.
So all these starships just randomly had like a monster stowed away in the brig or something.
Yeah. Or ghosts. You can make a ghost in space if a person dies, horribly. Just because
that's what I was leading up to with my Borg setup, Phil, but you had to shout down aliens.
Well, because I already told you there were no aliens and you didn't listen to me, so I had to reinforce it with loud words.
Didn't the Borg start out as peoples?
No, they started out as aliens. I mean, some of them are humans, but most of them isn't. But I got an idea here. So there's a really long spaceship crashing scene in this movie.
Yes.
Where every one of these fucking movies, the Enterprise has to get destroyed. Every goddamn Star Trek movie. Oops, we broke it.
Oops.
Now it's time
Make another one.
Enterprise FG.
At some point, wouldn't somebody be like, hey, maybe that name is cursed because every Enterprise crashes. Why don't we just call it something different?
Because that would be fucking giving up, you coward. We're going to call every boat the Titanic until one never sinks. What if it was a movie and the ship was crashing the whole time?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
80 minutes of our ship is crashing. We need to figure out how to survive.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
No, there's no fixing it. This thing's going to hit the ground, but we got to figure out how to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a guy who's like, there's a folk who's like, I got to get off this ship right now. I don't want to die. And they climb into the escape pod and they jettison out against the captain's orders. And oops, too high up. They burn up. Pod burns up. They die.
Yeah. So I think it starts out and the ship is like orbiting a planet. And then something goes wrong and it's being sucked into the gravity well of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see it's sort of like a Titanic right after it hits the iceberg thing. And they're like, look, we're going to crash into this planet. We need to do everything we can to save as many lives as we can. And then like you got all these set pieces of like trying to aim it at the right angle to get through the atmosphere. And then trying to steer it as best you can to find a spot to land. But oops, we missed the mark and we are going to hit the mountain and then sliding down that fucking mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's tight. It's tense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
What else you got?
I don't have a ton of other ideas because, as I said, this movie was bad, but I did like it a great deal and pretty much just sat down and watched the whole thing. Can we just have a Deep Space Nine movie, please?
Yeah, didn't they just kind of resolve that plot in the show, though?
Yeah, but can't we just have one? Can I just have one?
Odo, Space Detective. That's a movie.
Yeah, I would watch that. Sisko just at home dealing with like PTSD.
Yeah, he went through a lot.
Kind of a soldier coming home story for Captain Sisko. Also, this is the last one I had. This actually might be my worst one, but I wouldn't mind new Trek Next Generation crossover movie.
What?
Like current Trek, like Chris Pine Trek Next Generation crossover movie.
Oh, I mean, would it be a new Next Gen cast?
No, I think they're all old, but they go back in time.
Okay. But by going back in time, they're in the new timeline now where Pine and them is.
Well, that's how time works, Phil. Yes. Once the past is different,
then
once the past is different, then that's just the past.
Okay. Well, why wouldn't we recast Next Gen then too?
Nope.
Young,
I don't want it.
Sexy Picard and young, sexy Kirk.
Okay, all right, I don't hate that, but Picard does still have to be bald.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's 25 and bald.
Who's young and sexy and also bald?
I think the actor has to be bald.
Jason Statham.
Oh my God. Yes, I love it. Yeah, because in this timeline, Picard's family wasn't as well off, so he is Cockney.
Yeah. Oi, I'm Captain Picard from the South, and if I stop doing cocaine, my heart will stop.
Get in my starship so I can transport you.
Fuck. I got one more idea here it's not really Star Trek related. I guess it could take place in the Star Trek universe. It's more just alien stuff. You know that movie Predators?
With Adrian Brody?
Yeah, the deeply underrated Predator sequel.
Yes.
So the plot of that movie is you've got Adrian Brody and Danny Trejo and Walter Goggins and a bunch of other people, and they're all like mercenaries or murderers or bank murderers or killers for hire, and other words that mean essentially the same thing. They're a bunch of bad murder folks.
Mm-hmm.
And the predators kidnap them all and put them in a game preserve so they can hunt them for sport.
Yeah.
So I thought about something that's basically the same plot, except instead of a game preserve being hunted for sport, you're on Chopped.
You got to cook alien food.
Yeah, the judges are aliens, and you're competing against aliens, and the food is all aliens, and if you lose, you'll die.
Now, careful, if you don't cut that grub the right way through its thorax, it will release a neurotoxin that will melt your face.
Well, I don't think any of the aliens speak English.
So it's like that SNL sketch where Chris Farley's like on the Japanese game show.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Yeah, and the host like comes up to you to like interview you while you're trying to prep and stuff, and puts the mic in your face, and it's just like.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Does my family know that I'm here?
Is there water that I can boil?
Crawling?
Do you guys have water on this planet that I can boil stuff in? Because whatever's coming out of the tap is thick and blue.
And it's fucking looking at me.
I think it's a snake. I think there are blue snakes coming out of the faucet. Is that the snake faucet? Is there a water faucet?
Is there a separate water faucet that I could use? I have all the snakes I need. I admire the technological advancements that have allowed you to have indoor snake plumbing, but it's not really what I'm looking for at this moment.
I do have some questions, though. How does that work? Are all the snakes just constantly lined up end to end in the pipe?
Oh.
Who put those snakes in there? Do dead snakes ever come out? Because all of these are alive. I've left this faucet running for 15 minutes, and they're all alive.
Oh, my God. And you're out of time. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
That's less of a movie idea and more of just like a Rick and Morty episode.
Yeah, but I would watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, James, I'm out of ideas.
Same.
Was anything standing out to you as a possible winner? I do
Yeah,
very much
Chopped
like...
one. No, I do like Space Crash the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like Starjammers. I would say either of those.
Yeah, I like those both a lot too, to be honest with you. I feel like, so here's where I'm at. I feel like the Space Crash one is a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Star Trek mapped onto Starjammers D&D stuff is going to be funnier and more fun to talk about.
Okay, then let's do that one.
Now, here's my question on that one. Do we need to cast it, or are we just doing the actors from Next Gen?
I think we're just doing the actors from Next Gen.
Okay. That does give us a little bit less to talk about.
But wouldn't we randomly generate? Yeah, I don't know. I leave the decision to you.
Let's do this. Let's have Chris Pine and all of his Star Trek friends get sucked through another more different or wormhole time portal. And then they do end up in the Starjammer Star Trek universe. And it is the Next Gen Star Trek Starjammer universe. And so the characters are Worf and Picard and Riker and Crusher and etc. But they are hotter, younger actors, and they are D&D characters.
Okay.
And that'll allow us to cast them, but keep the core of their characters intact.
Sure.
And then the plot is they gotta fight some, I don't know.
Phil, we've been saying it wrong the whole time. The campaign is called Spelljammer.
Spelljammer. Well, now it's Starjammer.
Oh, they gotta fight the GIF, which are humanoid hippo people.
Really?
Yep. Big hippos in knight armor riding around on wooden ships in space.
Yeah, they got to team up and fight the GIF. I'm down for that. I'm more interested, honestly, in just talking more about who's what.
Okay.
Now, so we already did Worf is a half-orc.
Yep.
I think fighter, probably straight up tank fighter.
Yep.
Picard is a human paladin.
Mm-hmm. With a big old wizard beard.
Yeah, Riker's definitely some kind of like some kind of like swashbuckling rogue type.
Yeah. He dressed in pirate clothes.
Pilot clothes?
Pirate clothes.
Like a one of those ear flappy hats and goggles?
Pirate.
Oh, but like he stole the clothes?
Yes, he did steal the clothes from like the pilot of a propeller airplane.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's a pirate. And then Troy is she's a dragonborn druid. Crusher's our cleric. What else? Wesley is definitely a halfling bard.
Yep.
Geordie LaForge.
Ooh. Geordie is...
What's an engineer? What is the D&D version of it? I mean, he could be like a tinkerer.
That's not bad. That fits him.
I think he's a gnome tinkerer.
He's a gnome?
Yeah. He's a gnomish tinkerer for sure.
A blind gnome tinkerer.
Well, Geordie's not blind. He has the goggles which give him vision.
But do they have that in Starjammer?
Well, what would be the equivalent, though, I guess? Maybe he's got magic. Maybe he's got goggles, like they're like welding goggles, and then they give him magic sight.
Ooh, okay. So he doesn't see how we see, but he does see in his own way.
He sees in his own way, yes.
Yeah.
Remember in this movie where the Klingons hacked his vision? And they were like, this guy doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Data's a clockwork automaton.
Yep.
Who are the other any other big characters that we're missing?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh yeah, she's got to be like a because she's sort of like this mysterious alien figure, right?
Yep.
I think she's got to be an Azamar, which are like human angel. They're like tieflings but angels, right? So like tieflings are like half human, half demon. The Azamars they're like half human, half angels.
Yep.
I think she's one of them.
Yep.
And Q is definitely around.
Oh yeah. He's probably the one who did this. He's probably the one who reskinned the universe to be Starjammer.
It's like that episode where Q turns them all into Robin Hood times.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
he definitely did this.
Yep. He picked up a D&D manual and was like, this sounds fun.
This sounds dope as shit, actually. I'm going to hang out with this, folks.
And he is the one who brought Chris Pine's crew into the mix.
Yeah. And then they all have to get new outfits.
Yep, because they got to fit in.
Now, our party is a little unbalanced, I feel like, because we don't have any like offensive magic users. We don't have like a wizard or a sorcerer or anything. Unless that would just be Q and he's just kicking it with them.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all like his fanfic. So yeah, he's definitely like on the ship.
Okay, so he's sort of like an Ice King kind of a situation where he just wants to write friends for himself.
Yes. Yep.
So maybe he's sort of like a lich in this circumstance.
Oh, good. Yes, let's also make this the Lich movie.
Yeah, this has also got a lich in it, and it's Q.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So wait, is Q making himself into a lich to be the bad guy?
No, I don't think he's the bad guy. I think it's just he just kind of is like metaphorically a lich.
Ah, okay. Got it.
He's like an evil being composed entirely of like wicked magics.
So maybe he's not the bad guy like of the campaign, but he is the bad guy of the movie because they do have to stop him to undo all his fuckery and get Chris Pine back to the right timeline.
Correct. The
Right
the right
to the
pine
right.
line.
God damn it, Phil. I was just going to make that joke.
We're both the same kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Well, James, I mean, like in classic D&D fashion, should we roll some dice and cast our new merry band of traveling space wizards known as Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Yes.
Space Star Jam.
Star Trek: The Next Jammeration.
Yeah, dude. Spell Trek: The Next Jammeration.
Spell Trek: The Next. That's also good.
Okie dokie, I've got my 2 10-sided dice here.
Swish, swish, swish.
We are randomizing this cast, right? As is our wont.
Yeah. Except Jason Statham is young Picard.
Oh, okay. So that one's done for us already.
Yeah, it is Jason Statham.
Okay, so who we want to cast first? Riker?
Riker the Rogue.
So the movie we are casting from is going to be Game Night.
Ooh.
Appropriately enough.
It's Q's Game Night.
Yeah, and the performer is going to be Rachel McAdams.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Very well cast. Perfect Rogue Riker, Rachel McAdams.
I can't wait
Riker,
for Rachel McAdams' beard.
I think maybe she's a season 1 Riker.
Oh, okay.
All right, next, Worf, the half-orc fighter.
Orc Worf.
Orc Worf. Here is an observation I would like to make. Worf is at this point a historically black character, and we should probably cast a black person to play him or her. Him.
Them.
They.
Worf.
Worf should be black. Worf needs to be black.
Yeah, I would agree.
So here's what I think is to maintain the spirit of stochasticity, to still randomize it a certain extent, but ensure that we are rewarded with a black performer. Why don't we just skip the part where we randomize the movie and make the movie be a movie full of black people and black in the title, and it's Black Panther, and then I can just roll one die. And then we can pick a performer, and if it's Martin Freeman or Andy Serkis, then we'll just roll it again. How does that sound?
I like them odds.
All right, cool. That's a 10. Let me just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Angela Bassett, your Worf.
Half-Orc Worf.
Angela Bassett, you are the half-orc Spelljammer Worf. That fucking rules. Angela Bassett is the shit, and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
She's a goddamn icon.
That was very good. I gotta say, I was hoping for Winston Duke, but Angela Bassett, very good choice.
Winston Duke, who that is?
M'Baku.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes, easily, again, if I'm picking, my top 2 hottest Avengers.
Yeah.
He's definitely, it's him and Nebula for me, honestly. It's M'Baku and Nebula, I think, are the hottest pair of avenging folks.
Good choices. Good choices.
Mm-hmm. Next, Wesley Crusher, the charming adolescent Halfling Bard.
Yep.
Ah. By the way, this is officially the nerdiest thing that we've ever done, James.
Yeah. A D&D Star Trek movie.
Okay, this number's too high. Okay, the movie's Bohemian Rhapsody. And the performer is Gwillem Lee.
I'm sorry?
Gwillem Lee.
Gwillem. Good old Gwillem.
Old Gwillem from Jamestown in The Tourist and BBC One's A Song for Jenny.
Aw.
He plays Brian May.
Ah, got it. So he had the big curly wig on.
Mm-hmm. Who else we got? Diana Troy, the Dragonborn druid.
Yep.
From the movie Deadpool 2.
But not TJ Miller.
No, obviously we have a ban on TJ Miller. It's Rob Delaney.
Rob Delaney's in Deadpool 2?
Yeah, you haven't seen that GIF that went viral of him like with his mustache like parachuting down out of the sky?
Oh, that I didn't know that was Rob Delaney.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hell yes.
Yeah. Rob Delaney, welcome to Spell Track the Next Jammeration. You're Diana Troy.
With the mustache.
Oh, for sure. 100%. But also with like the I think he's wearing like you know how her uniform was always like kind of had that cutout around the top area?
Mm-hmm.
And also like dresses from History Time have that too?
Yes.
I think that's the kind of period fantasy dress that he's going to be sporting.
Yeah, and a corset.
Yeah, and of course, who else? The voice of Data, the Clockwork Automaton.
Yeah, because he's going to be CG because he's got to look more he's got to look less like a people.
It's Peter Rabbit. And the voice is Domhnall Gleeson.
Fuck yes. He's played a robot before. That'll be good.
When was he a robot?
In that Black Mirror episode.
Oh, yeah.
The lady's husband died, and she brought him back as a robot.
Yeah, he's in Ex Machina, too, so that's also a robot. Yeah. He's got a lot of robot experience. That's why we hired him, frankly. We looked at that resume, and we said, wow, you know about robot.
He's been in a Star Wars. They got robots in there.
Yeah, they call them androids, though, in those movies.
Just droids, I think.
No, that sounds wrong. Remember that classic line where he's like, we are not the androids you're looking at.
You're looking at.
Who else we got? Jordy the gnome.
Yes, gnome Jordy, gnome de la Forge.
Gnome de la Forge.
Gnome de la Tinker.
LeVar Burtnome.
That was probably the worst one.
From the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Brian Tyree Henry is going to be our Normie LaForge from This Is Us in Atlanta and Boardwalk Empire.
Perfect.
Yeah, put some goggles on him.
Make him tiny.
Tinker it up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Brian Tyree Henry, more like Brian Tinker Henry.
Okay. How about my man Bev Crusher? She's our cleric, right?
Yes.
From the movie Bohemian Rhapsody again.
Aidan Gillen.
Joseph Mazzello from Jurassic Park.
The original Jurassic Park?
Yeah, he plays Tim in Jurassic Park.
Oh, neat.
So Tim from Jurassic Park is going to be Beverly Crusher.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I like that. Who else we got? I think just Q, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, yep.
All right, so our Q from the movie Incredibles 2 is going to be Jonathan Banks.
Oh, that's really good, actually.
I like the idea of a whimsical, all-powerful Jonathan Banks.
That's really good.
All right, so I think we still need to cast our Whoopi Goldberg.
Just leave it Whoopi Goldberg, though.
You're saying that for the character that Whoopi Goldberg plays in Star Trek The Next Generation, whose name we can't even remember and are referring to as Whoopi Goldberg, we should just go ahead and just continue her tenure as Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, just let Whoopi do it.
I guess if Leonard Nimoy can continue to be Spock in the new timeline.
Yeah. And because isn't her character like immortal or something anyway? Isn't she like very, very many years old?
Yeah, she's some sort of immortal alien. Because we decided that she was going to be a half angel thing, right? From the D&D universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just Whoopi still.
It's just Whoopi Goldberg.
It is just Whoopi. It's the sister act to herself, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
It's friend to Tyrannosaurus Rex's everywhere, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Okay. Terrific. I don't have any other Whoopi Goldberg references.
It's the, hey, in my view, it should be Whoopi Goldberg.
Nice. That's really good. Honestly, most of the time I think about Whoopi Goldberg anymore, I think about her version of the joke from the Aristocrats documentary, where she talks about the guy stretching out his own foreskin and pulling it over his own head. Is in my mind permanently associated with the performer Whoopi Goldberg. And also would make a pretty convincing Star Trek alien.
Yeah.
He's just got his pembis all over his face.
His pembis all up on there.
Yeah, it's just all the way around it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we've done it.
I think it's good.
I like how sometimes we plot a movie and then sometimes we're just like, here's a silly idea and cast it.
Yeah.
Dude, we've talked long enough anyway. Well, James, Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Cusick for the use of your song Dragonfly. You can, hey, please like and subscribe on iTunes. Give us a review
if you want.
Just tell people about the podcast is the big thing. Like, let people know. Spread the word. It's a good podcast. You like it. We like it. They'll
Shout
like
it at strangers on the streets.
Yeah, scream it at everyone you see. Go and build a big wooden ship and fly it into outer space and go tell aliens about it.
Give them no context. Just say, movie improvie.
Yeah, and then turn all the snake faucets on in their house and run. Plug the drains. Follow us on Twitter at Movie Improving. Follow me on Twitter at Phil Stressman. Follow James on Twitter at Doc Professor Man. Hey, go follow us on Instagram at movie_improving. I've been posting a lot of bad memes there lately. So if you're into that, if you like movie-related shit posting, then go check those out.
The whole internet does. So, get on that.
Yeah. So follow us there. I think, so go ahead and if you're on Twitch, go ahead and just save movie_improving on Twitch, because I think we're going to start doing some stuff there, either streaming live podcasts or playing movie video games or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
That is in the works. Other than that, just, live your life and treat people with love and kindness, and just go out and, put positive vibes out into the world.
Yeah. Stay happy out there.
Hey, stay happy. Stay frosty.
Stay classy.
Stay classy. If there's nothing else, James, then I think it's I think that's Chinatown.
Hey, it's Chinatown?
Hey, what can I say? Is selling Chinatown.
Bye,
buddy.
Goodbye.